3 goals and all 3 points for the Gunners as they went to Leicester and came away with all the spoils. Stevie Nicol is joining me for this one. Stevie, Arsenal, Mikel Arteta must be beaming after the last 2 performances from the Gunners. Let's talk about this one, though, against Leicester. Considering how high Leicester are up in the table right now, this is a massive win for them, isn't it? Statement win, almost.
Yeah, I can't actually make my mind up whether I'm going to praise Arsenal or be critical of Leicester. Listen, when you go away from home and you win 3-1 against a team in the top 4 of the Premier League, then you've got to be doing something right. And they did. You know, they did go behind early on, but they showed a lot of character, and they came back and, deservedly won this game. The truth is that they carried it for definitely the first hour of the game before Leicester tried to push their way back in it. And so you have to say, well done, Arsenal. 3 goals away from home, without Aubameyang, without Sacco as well. Obviously, Arteta resting them. So, yeah, great result for Arsenal. But I do have to question Leicester. I mean, yes, they went ahead, and the tactic was to sit tight and try and break on Arsenal. But, if Leicester go ahead and win this game, they find themselves 9 points of 5th place Chelsea with only 12 games to go. I would have thought they would have tried to play on the front foot and put Arsenal under pressure instead of letting Arsenal just do what they wanted. Yes, you can argue that they did go 1 up, but the truth is it took them an hour before they thought, you know what, we better try and play some football here. So on the one hand, as I said, Arsenal, give them credit. They were given the ball and they scored 3 goals. Leicester, however, what an opportunity for them to make a statement and cement themselves in the top 4, because it's going to be tight by the end of the year.
Definitely, it already is looking quite tight indeed. Just sticking with Arsenal as well, because as you said, Mikel Arteta did opt to make some changes to give the likes of Aubameyang and Saka a bit of a rest after quite a eventful week in Europe midweek. What impressed you the most, I suppose, or who stood out to you from probably some of the usuals that we don't get to see starting week in, week out?
I'll be honest, this was more of a team performance. I don't think there was anybody in particular that was outstanding. I just thought everybody did the job. David Luiz defensively did a good job, and he scored the first goal from a nice set piece. Pepe, he created the penalty from Ndidi's handball and got a goal. But generally, everybody did what they were supposed to. If you want me to stick my neck out, then I guess I should go for Pepe, because, as I said, his strike in the first half, they got the penalty and then the goal. So, but this was a true team performance from back, middle to front. Everybody playing their part, and as I said before, a deserved victory, no question, for Arsenal.
With that said, though, before we get to Leicester, because I know they do have some problems, Arsenal, from what we saw, a well-fought win against Benfica in the Europa League midweek. That definitely took a lot of effort. Now then, 2 days later, to come to Leicester at their home to score 3 goals without the likes of Saka and Aubameyang right at the start. Do you feel like Arsenal might be at least hitting another gear at the right time, or can we read into something special starting?
No. Come on, Arsenal with victory, I think, go up to 9th. I mean,
just for now.
Yeah, we're talking. The reason they're going to end up 9th maybe is because they're inconsistent, and I can't argue with you. They were good against Benfica, still went behind again as they did in this Leicester game. But I'm way from turning around and saying they're going to mount any sort of challenge for the top 4, if that's what you get now.
Well, probably not top 4, but just at least to give Arsenal fans a little something extra. But anyways, let's move on to Leicester City, because it looks like they've got some serious problems there. As you said, they just didn't quite look like Leicester. One of the things, too, is that injury list is piling up for them. Jamie Vardy didn't quite look like the Jamie Vardy we've come to know and love. Harvey Barnes, we see going off as well, to add to the list of like Justin James, Ayoze Perez, etc. How worried should Brendan Rodgers be that they're probably doing the opposite and hitting a bunch of all these problems at the wrong time?
Well, I think he should be, because if you look at what happened to them last season, I mean, you talk about a drop-off. My goodness, they fell off the edge of a cliff last year. And so, maybe that's why they came out and played the way they did today. You know, maybe he's wanting to just be conservative and just hold on to what he's got because they weren't positive. I mean, Leicester can be great on the break, but the fact is, when you're losing the likes of Barnes, Jamie Vardy's not 100%. He doesn't look 100% to me. He had a one-on-one race with Barry today, and he got beat. I mean, that's not something we're used to seeing. So there's no way Vardy's 100%. Plus, Johnny Evans goes off injured as well. I mean, so things are beginning to unravel. Things are beginning to smell a little like they did this time last year. So Leicester have to be very careful. And if I'm in charge of Leicester, I'm saying, you know what, let's be positive. Because if you just want to sit back and let teams come at you, you're going to have to defend well. And they clearly didn't do that today. They lost 3 goals. So I would suggest to Brendan Rodgers that get on the front foot. And if things are not going to work out for you, at least have it on your own terms. Don't sit back and let it happen. So, yeah, this was a bit of an eye opener today for Leicester, and Brendan's got a lot of thinking to do, particularly on how he approaches the upcoming games.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.